Hey everybody, this is Raul with Bass Musician Magazine, and today we have the great honor of privilege on being on location with Cirque du Soliel, Kurios, and bassist and band director, band leader, Marc Sohier.
Hello.
So Marc, welcome to Bass Musician. It's so nice to get a chance to meet you. I will cheat and tell everybody we've seen the show. It's amazing. But before I talk about the show, let's talk a little bit about you so we get to know you. Tell us about your bass journey. How did you get started in bass?
Yeah. I started a long time ago, as you can see. That started yesterday. I started when I was 16, playing bass just for fun with friends. And after I was thinking where I'm gonna go at school, was playing bass. And I don't think it's an instrument to practice. I switched to guitar, classical guitar. And I got to school for a couple of years, and after a while I just came back to my first love, the bass playing. So I cut my nails after my last examination, and since that time, I was like 20 at that time, I started play bass, and I was freelancing in Montreal for years. And in 1993 I went to visit friends who were playing on Saltimbanco, another Cirque du Soliel show. They were in New York. And I went there, and 2 days before I came there, it was two guys who left the band. They resigned, so it was perfect timing. And I did tours since that time. I took a couple of years off with my family, but I'm touring since that time. So with Saltimbanco, we did like almost everywhere on the planet. I stopped for 7 years, and that show was for me, I think, and I was ready to come back because it's a lovely show. And I got the job, and now it's a new story, and we're still doing shows and finishing the US tour now. Go to Japan after I don't know. And but no, life is good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and the show is in our area. We're in the Portland, Oregon area. The show's going to be here till October 8th. So we're going to make sure that we shout out to everybody that is in the Portland, Vancouver area that this is a must-see show. So you've really got to come and experience it because it is amazing. Now, with the music of the show itself, you are in the interesting position of being the band director.
Yes.
And I have the utmost appreciation for your position because with circus acts, not everything goes exactly on time. So everybody follows very attentively your lead as far as the timing, and if the music has to be extended. We were watching one of the acts, there's a guy balancing on a bongo board kind of thing. And he was having a little difficulty getting up on the board. Yes. So you are the person that controls the flow of the music.
Yes, it's true.
And so what do you do when things are taking a little longer?
Okay. So the way I see my job, it's like it's a movie soundtrack that we do, but it's organic. It's live. It's happening in real time. And for me, my job, and for not only me, of course, I drive the band, but like the drummer has a lot of things. He's really like glue on the picture, and he punch a lot of stuff with the picture. My job is to synchronize the music with the act. So if something happens, there's a problem or it takes more time, there's the way we construct the music, there's section that we can vamp, you know, in the best situation. But sometimes things happen for the first time. There's a surprises, and we have like to find a way, take a decision. Okay, that we do that. So I call it, okay, we're gonna stay there, or I call like it for the rola bola that we were talking about. It failed. So there's a guitar solo. We go for a guitar solo for a while. After when I see it's ready, I call the cello in. So we get back in the song, and it's a very nice part of my job. It's not like repetitive, because we have to follow the visual, you know. And my task is to make as much as possible the audience to look at the show without thinking about the music, because if you see like a good movie, you don't feel that the music is there. You feel it when it's too much,
Sure.
or it's badly synchronized. So if everything is at the right place, you just support the scene and the act and the acrobatic, and you know there's the best acrobats in the world.
Oh.
So you know it's nice to try to make them a nice musical environment. And
Sure, it complements the movement that is happening, which is so amazing. And in addition to that, I noticed that you have a position where you are kind of vigilant of what's happening, and a lot of the musicians are out in the public at some point. They have a march where they're coming through
at the beginning,
and then there's times when the vocalist is up high or on a tower, or the violinist and the cello are out on stage.
Because Michel Laprise wanted to give the people the thought to see the violin and the cello playing up high there. You know, it's like, you know, everything is possible.
Yes.
If you can play the cello there, what I cannot do like something with my life that is special, or just to give that kind of, you know, open. It's a kind of a heart opening show, and the music is amazing. The guy from France, Raphaël Beau, who wrote like 75% of the score is amazing. That's why we have that nice Café de Paris type of music.
Yes.
And we have also Bob and Bill, who's the two guys from Montreal who wrote like the filet rebond number, you know, the cornet, and rola bola, the play that number on the rola bola, and a couple of they did the last 25% of the music too. But they're very different, and together they make what I call a nice yin and yang music, where we have a nice balance of poetry and like you know, groove.
Absolutely.
So it's very interesting.
And with the vocals, I know in a lot of the Cirque shows, because I listen for the language and I don't understand. Is it a Cirque language? Because I know some of the shows make up their own language.
There's a lot of nanas, you know, like a scat, you know, like in jazz, because it's electro swing. It's the jazz idiom is part of the, you know, the style.
Sure.
So instead of words, they scat, you know? And but they're English. I don't think there's scat and English. Jeff, I think, But no, it's not like in Saltimbanco, the other show I was with him. It was only invented language, so no real tongues. Yeah.
Well, and we were listening. One of the last shows we saw was Toruk, which takes place on a whole other world. So of course, they invented a whole other language.
Yeah, probably. I don't know about that one. I cannot jump in it.
Other species, other planet, are very different.
Yeah.
And in addition to this, how, with your involvement with, I know the music is written, but how much creativity on your own with your bass lines are you able to?
Not only me. Everybody put a lot of, you know, their own. Yeah, because you have the score, we have the composition. Of course, there's things that we cannot touch melody, but the melody can be a little bit, you know, added some ornamentation, and you know, the groove change sometime, and we know it's during the creation everybody puts his own style in it. Respecting, you know, what the composer. It's a big teamwork, and the band is very, 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 very nice. For that, they're all great musicians, and it's a pleasure to work with them.
Absolutely. Well, and the incredible thing about all of the Cirque shows is they create a sense of imaginary whimsy. that takes us to the brain goes, I can't believe somebody has imagined this. This is so incredible. The theme of this show is kind of steampunk.
Yeah.
I think of Jules Verne.
Yeah,
when I say a lot of the inventive, old school, old light bulb kind of things.
It's all the big invention of the beginning of the century.
Yes.
Electricity, trains, all those, who make our culture like explode in the gizmos, and like a lot of things, and new inventions, and it's really about that. And it's always also the thing to be, away from what we know to get to new stuff, wow, and just a kind of explosion of imagination. So they wanted to maybe touch that side of the potential of the human being to be able to go forward, And
when you see the acts that the athletes are doing, it's pushing the limits.
Yeah, that's it. That's pushing the limit, and everything is possible. The reality, and it's And Michel Laprise, again, he's an amazing guy, and he did a show with. He took the time to tell everybody, when you go and grab that thing on the floor, you have to think about this, because the people, they're not gonna hear what you're thinking, but they're gonna feel it. Mm-hmm. So it's beyond just like the what we hear, and it's about the feeling, what you project, and what the people. So the combination of everybody trying to make the thing together, without thinking about their own little being, they spread that way, and you can go forget your ordinary life, and you can have your heart open, and after the life is not there's a little change every time. Many people said, after I saw that show, something was different inside me, because there was a kind of a little light, and especially for the kids, they come and they see, wow, it's possible to do that. I want to try that.
Absolutely, and it is so amazingly creative, where you see the costumes, you see the colors, the set, just it is beyond imagination to me. Now, the band is positioned directly behind the kind of center stage, but there is a mesh or a veil or something.
Yeah.
And I was able to see a little bit through. If I'm not mistaken, I saw a Music Man bass.
I play with 4 basses. I have a Music Man who's got a Sodowski preamp in it. And I have that modified. I play with the Hofner bass too.
Okay.
Of song. I have a nice Pierre Laporte fretless 5 strings that I play in 1 of 2 songs, and I have an upright NS Design upright, and I have a very nice rig. I do reamping that like we did in 70s. So I have an API, a 4-channel, and I re-preamp the signal, play stereo too.
Nice.
So I go to a Lexicon, a reverb. After I came back in the preamp again, so I reamp the thing, so it makes the sound, for that kind of music.
Sure.
Very dense.
Yes.
Compressed bass sound.
And are you using any pedals?
Yeah, I have an octaver, but the effects I took it in the M1, the TC Electronic processor. So the only pedal I have is the octaver. The rest is
just the sound
rack
of the
processor.
Amazing.
Yeah, but mostly for that style, I don't use that much process.
Got you. Well, Marc, we are so grateful for you taking some time to talk to us a little bit about this.
Pleasure.
It is, I think, people who've been watching know we just love the Cirque shows, and there's a lot to love because of the creativeness and the music and the spectacle and the imagination and everything like that. If people want to know more about this show and other show, best place to look, cirquedusoleil.com would be my guess.
Yes, absolutely.
And if they want to find more about what you're doing with your bass, is there a website or anything they should be looking?
Not right now, but they can go by the circus website. They can join me. They can find me.
Excellent. Well, again, you've seen it, people. Bass Musician Magazine coming to you live from Portland, Oregon on a lovely sunny day with Marc Sohier, the bassist and band director for Kurios Cabinet of Curiosities.